let's get drawing. In today's video, we are sketching a black cat sitting in a pumpkin, ready for Halloween. For this project, I will be using a micron pen, the Ohuhu mid-tone alcohol marker set, and a marker pad. I will link everything in the description below. I always like to start with a pencil sketch. The marker paper is so thin that I can place my draft right under the page, and I can still see it perfectly well. Once I've done that, I create a clean line drawing on top of my draft. Time for a bite! The line drawing is finished and I can now start with my markers. First is the pumpkin. When using alcohol markers, it's important to allow your layers to dry to avoid getting soggy paper. Once I've completed the first orange layer, I move on to the face of the pumpkin. Then switch to the leaves, and another one, and another one. I pick yellow for the eyes of the cat, and grey for the body. I'm really surprised how juicy these markers are. Please don't forget to subscribe for more cute content. I will only use one single marker for the body. I will get so many hues of grey just by layering the strokes. Stay tuned to see how it all turns out in the end. The first grey layer is done. Now I'm moving on to the second coat for the pumpkin, and I'm already getting a really nice saturation on this orange. And it's time for another bite. And another coat for the pumpkin face. Next is the top edge of the pumpkin. And another hue for the eyes. More color layering. When using lighter hues in markers, it often needs a couple of coats before you can really notice a difference. You can already see how much darker the second layer looks. And that's the same grey, the very same I used for the first coat. Dark shadows under the eyes. Third coat for the pumpkin. Still using only one color, still the same hue. Look at the lovely saturation I'm achieving here. Same for the leaves. It's all just one color. All it takes are many layers. And it's time for another bite. I'm getting a really nice separation between the lighter and the darker tones. Moving on to the third coat of the very same grey for the cat. Isn't it amazing how much contrast I'm getting out of it? And now the fourth coat of the orange. And a drop shadow for the pumpkin. I think we are getting there with the orange. And another bite. I want to avoid to get the paper too soggy. Those markers are so juicy, I have to be careful. And I might be able to get real dark areas. I usually save the hatching for the end, because I want to see how my marker coloring has turned out first. Only then can I decide which areas will benefit from using hatching. I'm using the same Micron 0.8 pen I started my drawing with. Now I'm going ahead, hatching all the parts of the drawing. And another bite. And here we go, the cutest, endearing Halloween cat nestled in her cozy pumpkin, ready to trick or treat.